How randomness and reactivity is killing your consistency. Hi, everybody. Happy Friday, and thank you so much for joining me today in this Facebook Live. Today, I'm going to be showing you how establishing a repeatable and structured routine is one of the key ingredients to your consistent fitness progress. So that way, you can be strong, you can feel energized, and you can stay lean all at the same time. So, for those of you that are new here, I just want to introduce myself. My name is Marisol. I am the founder of Ruby Soul Food and Vitality Health Coaching, as well as my signature offering, which is the Elite Vitality Program. And I empower lady hustlers just like yourself to lose weight, to eat without guilt, and to glow with energy from the inside and out. So I'm so excited to be here with you guys today. And for anybody who is joining in with me right now live, I would love if you would drop a comment down below and let me know either what you are already very consistent with in your wellness health routine that you're proud of, or something that you wish you could get better and more consistent with. So wherever you're at, let me know. I would love to hear kind of where you're at. And thanks for joining me. Whether you're watching here live or whether you're going to join me later in the replay, I'm glad to have you here. Again, what we're going to be talking about today is how having a repeatable and a structured wellness routine is the key to your success when it comes to consistent results. And I think that that is something that I hear a lot of questions about often. It's a common struggle, so we're going to dive right into it. One of the biggest mistakes that I see ladies making is the lack of consistency with their workouts. So you might have this type of situation where Monday you'll go to one random workout class because it kind of fits your schedule. Then maybe Tuesday, you're rushing to get to the gym and you kind of just pull up your phone and you Google a workout on YouTube. And then you just do that, whatever you find. And then maybe Wednesday, you lose track of time and you totally forget to make time to go to the gym, and then it just doesn't happen. And then maybe Wednesday, or sorry, what day are we on? Thursday, Friday, do a couple random workouts and you just keep going. And then maybe there's a holiday on the weekend, so you kind of like take 3-4 days off, and then you're kind of back at Monday and you're not really sure where to start. So you see how it's just like it turns into this jumble of randomness, right? There's no clear plan, there's no intention really, there's not a proactivity behind it all. And that's what I want to draw your attention to today. It's this idea of reacting, right? Reactivity is causing you to be random depending on what the circumstances are that day, right? What cards are dealt that day that are out of your control, and you're just kind of going with the wind. And that can be really difficult to show up the way that you want when it comes to your fitness progress, right? Or your fitness routine. So what I'm trying to help you to understand is the importance of bringing it back to taking ownership of what is required for you to get to your goals, so that way you can actually see results that last over the long term. And that's what I want for you, and I'm sure that that is what you as well are working towards. And going into this idea of reactivity, what I mean by that is basically acting on your emotions. There's a combination of kind of a randomness of like the hustle and bustle of life and kind of doing and getting the best type of workout that you can on short notice. But at the same time too, there's an idea of reactivity, how while we might know in the back of our mind what we need to do, we don't always show up for that because of how we're feeling, or because of a lack of vision, or maybe sometimes it's just not feeling like it, and maybe other times it's we let our sluggishness or kind of negative mindset take over and prevent us from showing up the way that we want. So I want to help you again, instead of taking that reactivity approach, let's go into a mindful approach where we're one step ahead of ourselves. We can feel the uncomfortable feelings, but can we rise above it in some way to then get the job done, show up another day consistent in line with our goals? So that's what, the combination of those two, randomness and reactivity, is kind of adding up to, which is really killing your consistency. And I want to let you know that I understand where you're coming from if this is you. This also relates to your eating as well, right? It can relate to your routine, your workouts, your eating habits. It can also relate to just your general self-care, sleep routine as well. and I focus on all three of those with my clients. So the idea of, maybe randomness and reactivity is showing up with your meals. Maybe one day you're eating all salads, and then the next day, you kind of forget breakfast and lunch, and then you have a big dinner. And then maybe Wednesday you're going out for happy hour, and then you eat just like snack food. And then it just kind of keeps going, going, going. Maybe you get back on track, you cook some food at home, and then the weekend is like a blowout meal, right? It's a holiday. It's perfect timing for 4th of July, right? So you see, again, there's randomness, there's no planning, and there's this reactivity, right? It's like, oh, there's an opportunity here. I'm going to go with that, as opposed to, what do I need first? How can I fill up my cup, my needs for my goals first? So that can really get you into trouble. And there's an idea, underlying of all of this. It's like, well, if I do still show up to the gym 4 or 5 times a week, even though it might be random and it may not be my ideal situation, at least I'm going to the gym, right? Or, at least I got in, a couple salads. I didn't eat out every single day, right? That's better than nothing. And I want to say, yes, it is better than nothing. You are putting in some work, and I like where you're going with this. However, I know that you're looking to achieve the next level of your fitness progress. I know that you are looking to drop those extra pounds, to feel stronger, and to just feel better energetically, right? So I'm here to tell you that this is why you could be falling behind. It's that even though you are showing up, you're doing a little something, you are putting in the work, maybe you're making a few healthier decisions, it has to be consistent, right? There's no cohesive structure with any of that. And whether you're trying to either lose, the weight, get stronger, any one of those categories, every one of those has a requirement for rhythm, for this idea of something that is repeatable, a flow, a structure, whatever you want to call it. Your body craves that. As humans, we need repetition, we need practice, right? We need that reminder over and over again in order for us to really internalize it, get it, and for our bodies to actually like cooperate and to function in the way that we want it to for us, right? So it's really important that you know that. The same idea again goes with the eating habits. Your body needs that reminder over and over again for it to know, oh, this is what works for me, or oh, if I take a break from this type of food, my body can finally clean itself out. Whatever the case is, it all applies. So the consistency, I'm sure you've heard it before, is key. And this does take work. So the second that we don't, actively be intentional about our decisions, we will default back into randomness and reactivity. So I want to address just how easy it is to be random, be reactive. I've fallen into that trap in different parts of my life as well, and I understand the struggle. So I want to be sharing with you today a couple ways on how you can actually tackle this. Real simple, but effective. So number one is pick a mindful practice that you can practice, regularly. Maybe it's not every day, maybe it's a couple times a week, maybe it's once a week. Wherever you're at, you definitely want to incorporate something that brings you back centered. Okay, and if this is new for you, this could really mean anything as simple as breathing, paying attention to your breath, taking 1 microsecond of your day to notice, number one, are you breathing? How am I breathing? Where am I breathing? You could just ask yourself those 3 questions, and that's your mindful practice. Maybe you're a little bit more advanced and you're already, playing around with some mindful meditation. You could certainly do that for 1 minute, 3 minute, 5, 10, whatever you have. A meditation practice is, again, bringing in your body with your mind. It's settling you down. It's allowing you to actually let go and to just be present. If those 2 don't work for you, you could also just try getting outside, getting some fresh air. Being with nature is incredibly refreshing and resetting for the body and the mind, the spirit. And sometimes just getting some fresh air, looking at a tree, looking at some natural wildlife, whatever you have in front of you, that can be enough to just kind of get you out of a moment and bring you back centered. Now, why is a mindful practice important when it comes to consistency? Well, your mindfulness is like that bottom foundation of how your brain functions, how you show up with your behaviors. And often what's causing us to be random, to be reactive, is like we're just really rushed, we're stressed, we're anxious. We feel like we can't fit everything in the day. We feel like we don't have enough time. and we are balancing and juggling so many different balls that we just kind of make what we can out of what we got. And I get that. However, I think we have more time to reflect, to be present, and to get back centered more than we give ourselves the credit and opportunity to. So a really simple way to break that cycle is just a mindful practice, like I mentioned. Taking a moment to just breathe deeply into your belly. Take a second on how you actually feel in that moment, emotionally, physically, where your breath is coming from, can be enough to slow you down to then recenter and realign back to what's important to you. So maybe you can then realize, okay, I'm going to take a moment and I'm going to actually plan out my week. I'm going to plan out my workouts. Maybe I'm going to plan out when I'm going to eat my meals, and then maybe I'm going to make a grocery list, right? You had to slow down in order to make time, carve out time to do that. Maybe even when it comes to reactive eating, right? Maybe you just need to calm yourself down a little bit, bring it back to the moment, and then realize, oh, you know what? I'm actually satisfied. I don't need that much more food. Or perhaps, whereas right now my emotions really want to order some fast food because it's super simple and it's easily accessible and it's cheap. If I tune into myself, my true inner self right now is asking for something colorful, something homemade. What's something a little bit healthier that I can do? And you see, if I hadn't taken that time to maybe just check in with myself, I wouldn't have even heard that little voice guiding me towards what's best for me and what's healthy, right? So this is really important. And not only is it going to help you being consistent, it's also just going to help you to feel better throughout your day. It will lower your stress hormones, which helps you lose fat faster. And it's going to help you sleep better so that you feel more energized. So that's like a triple win. Find a mindful practice, step one. The second step is to focus on one habit at a time. This is super important because I know you guys listening out there are like me. You want to be the badass, accomplishing so much, doing everything. You're a hustler. You're super ambitious. And while that's great and all, what's more cool, what's cooler and what's more accomplishing and feels amazing is when you really show up and you don't disappoint yourself, right? Let me know if you guys kind of hear what I'm saying, because you can have a huge laundry list of to-dos, but if you can only get through a few of those, how much does that suck looking at the rest of that list that's not done? So what I want you to do when it comes to anything that is inconsistent about your wellness routine right now, whether it's your workouts, your eating, or maybe like your bedtime and how you're taking care of yourself, self-care, focus on one thing that you can master at a time. Try not to load up your calendar with more than what you can handle. Maybe you're going to focus on eating breakfast consistently for the next 4 days, right? Or maybe you're going to promise yourself that you are going to do some type of cardio routine on the weekends. When you build one step at a time, it actually propels you to do more. It gives you that positive reinforcement because, yes, you did do it. It was easy. You could do it no problem. And now you're motivated to do and tackle even more the next week. Lastly, which is maybe the most important one, I would say, is you need, it is required that you follow an independent program that is tailored to both your body, goal, and your lifestyle, right? I hear you guys out there, taking your group fitness classes, and I love a good group fitness class too. I love taking yoga in a group, and I love to, take some dance classes. Like, it's fun, right? We need that social interaction. It is so healthy for us and an important part of building community, right? And while all of those are amazing, classes are only going to be a supplement to your foundation for results, right? Your foundation has got to be strategic, tailored, and customized for you. And that's crucial because when you build out your own program, you also take more ownership, more accountability for your results, right? It's not on the instructor or the YouTube video that didn't get you results. It's going to be on you, right? And that's ownership. That's accountability that I think a lot of us are not maybe ready to really step into fully. And that could be what's holding you back. So it's really important that your program is designed for you. It is also helping you to feel better, right? Because it's addressing any limitations you might have from injuries or things that hurt or things that need to be modified. Specific exercises and the ordering of the exercises and the weights, all those details are planned specifically for you so that way you can actually get the weight loss you're looking for, get the strength you're looking for, and the mobility and the stretching and the freedom of movement, right? That can only be achieved if you are strategically planning that, or you're working with a coach to plan that. And I'm more than happy to speak with any of you who have questions about that, who would like to dive in deeper into designing that independent program for you. That is huge for your success, because again, otherwise we're right back into randomness, we're right back into reactivity. We're just kind of like rolling with the waves. And like I said, that can be great and that can work for you only if you have that solid foundation. Think of this whole conversation that we're talking about. You're building like a house, and that house is your wellness. That house is your ultimate vitality. If you don't have that foundation for yourself, then everything else is kind of unstable, trying to balance on top of it. So those are my tips for you guys. I hope that was helpful. Please let me know what you thought and maybe which one of these steps, if any of them resonated with you, which ones that you're going to go ahead and take action on today. I think this is a very important time to talk about this. You know, as we go into a longer holiday weekend, many of us get off track in these types of moments. So I want to help you prevent that. So again, step 1 is find a mindful practice. Step 2 is focus on one habit at a time. And then step 3 is to get your independent program tailored for your body, your goals, and your lifestyle. It is so important, you guys. And I know that you can do it. I don't want you to be inconsistent anymore. I want to help you to be your best, be consistent, show up the way that you want to. And if you'd like to learn more about anything that we spoke about today and how to boost your consistency with your eating, with your lifestyle, and your workouts, I invite you to check out my free masterclass that is now live, and I'm super excited to share it with you. All you need to do is click the link in my bio. It's in all of my pages and timeline here. Or you could also go directly to the link, which is tiny.cc/loseyourfirst5. I'll spell that out for you. It's tiny.cc/LOSEYOURFIRST, and then the number 5 in all lowercase. So it was so great to chat with you guys here today. Thank you again so much for taking the time out of your Friday afternoon. Have a safe and healthy and fun 4th of July. I will see you guys here very soon, and check out the free masterclass before you go. Take care. Bye, everybody.